What's up, guys? AW here, man. Air Warrior. I hope you're all enjoying the Sunday on this last Sunday of September, I believe. I believe next. I do believe next Sunday is October, the first day of October. And so, yeah, welcome, guys. Before we get into this spoiler review of She-Hulk episode 6, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about this channel. And click the notification bell when I go live. So today is gonna be a short spoiler stream. I'm not gonna have anybody on today, because I have things to do a little bit later on. So I don't have much time to have guests on for this review, for this spoiler review. Next week we'll be back to normal scheduling. Next week, where I'll have guests on. I'm sorry ahead of time, but it's just for this week. Just for this week. But yeah, I'm sorry. So next Sunday, or whenever I do my next review for the next episode 7, that'll be a normal. It's not a filler episode. I'll tell you why. It's not a filler episode. And anybody telling you it's a filler, if you think it's a filler episode, then you haven't been paying it. People, I'm not you, George, but if people are saying this is a filler episode, then they haven't been paying attention to the episode, because it's not a filler episode at all. So Jennifer Walters has been invited to a wedding of her high school friend named Lulu. Right? Basically, it's a wedding episode. Well, her paralegal, is it Nina? Oh, what the hell? Whatever, Nina. And the other lawyer, they're working on a case for a human and a human with magic powers. Not inhuman, who has the ability to be immortal. Who's immortal? Named Mr. Immortal. And this guy has lived through, a long time, because he's immortal. So over the time, he's accumulated a bunch of, what can I say, wives over the time. And he never really officially divorced himself. We'll get into that. So Jennifer Walters has been invited to a wedding of her high school friend who's getting married. And she comes in her She-Hulk form, but her friend, who is getting married, didn't want her to be in her She-Hulk form. She wanted her to be in her human form, obviously, because this is her wedding, and she didn't want the attention to be taken away from her. She didn't want the attention to be on She-Hulk. Understandably why, it's her wedding, so I agree with Lulu, the bride, that the attention should be on her and not on Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk. So for majority's episode, Jennifer Walters was in her human form. She wasn't in She-Hulk form. And then you get, this wasn't the wedding. This was more like a party before the wedding, right? It's not. I want to say it's a shower. They didn't specifically call it a wedding shower. So, as she was there, Titania was invited too by dating one of Lulu's cousins or something. Cousins, and this is obviously a way for Titania to get back at Jennifer for what happened in the previous episode with Titania using the She-Hulk name, trying to legalize it, trying to trademark and use her name, for her brand, for her beauty products. This is a way for Titania to get back at her by going to Reading to ruin it for her, to make for Jennifer to start something where Jennifer will eventually have to become She-Hulk and to ruin the Reading. And Titania did say in the previous episode that this isn't over, and this is obviously what she was planned. She planned this for this episode by dating one of Lulu's whatever friends, cousin, I don't know, somebody. I think it was cousin. Just to get back at She-Hulk. Now, Jen at this time, she had nobody, right? She didn't have a significant other, right? She didn't have a boyfriend or whatever at the time. So she felt alone, and she didn't, saw a guy comes up, and first time in the show, we see general interest in Jennifer Walters, not She-Hulk, from a guy. Remember previous episode, everybody was dating her was into Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk. But in this episode, when she started, talking with someone who was alone, talking with this guy who was invited also to the Reading, it seemed there was general interest in her as Jennifer, her actual self, not the She-Hulk self, her actual self. I didn't see her as She-Hulk, and it was going well, and it seemed there's some chemistry there. There's some chemistry between those two. While this was going on, you see Nina and the other lawyer that helped. I forget the other lawyer's name. To help Jen win the case against Titania. Take on Mr. Immortal's case, and you see him in the conference room. With all the wives that are alive, or supposedly alive, that he dated, married, and somehow faked his death over time and time. Because he's immortal, so he can't really die. I mean, he did jump out of the office, and landed in the car, damaging the car, and he just walked up from that, right? Obviously, in the MCU, that's not shocking. You wouldn't be shocked at it, right? That's something you actually believe right now. So they have to come up with the best possible deal to split with the wives. And honestly, it was a lose-lose situation for the guy. I mean, he could have gone to prison for the stuff he's done, really, but he decided not to. For Mr. Immortal, he decided even the best case scenario. His best case scenario was not really a winning scenario. Right? No, the people are forgetting how big of an episode this really is. This has big implications for She-Hulk going forward in the last few episodes. Okay, we'll get to the end. I'll explain why at the end. Now, obviously, it was pretty funny. You could tell Nina and the other lawyer were like, "Oh, we really have to represent this guy. This guy is scum. This guy's not a good man." But they have to represent him because they represent metahumans. Metahumans. That's DC. What do we call people of Marvel? What do they call it again? Is people with powers? They're not X-Men. They're not Inhuman. What do we call them? We know in DC they're called metahumans, right? I don't know. But, because this is the first time in the show this is the first time in MCU where people with powers are actually being representative. So, right? DC has always had that, really. What's up, Lion Braille? What's up? I'm sorry not having anybody on next week. Next week, uh, Mr. Immortal, like we're getting a bunch of you know. This is this episode is not a step back, guys. There's a lot of things here why it's taking a step forward. Here, there's a lot of things here, man. You should pay attention to. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so what I like about this episode, Jen does get drunk. She really does get drunk, and Titania wants to start shit with her. And Titania doesn't realize Jen is drunk. That Jennifer is drunk. You know, when she's manhandling her for like the first few minutes of that fight that she wants to start, she didn't realize she was drunk. And you see the impaired vision of Jen seeing like there's two Titania's possibility, because she's drunk and she knows she's drunk, and she's having trouble changing to She-Hulk because she was drunk, and then she managed to turn to She-Hulk. She managed to turn to She-Hulk and once again beat the crap out of Titania. It's like Titania's, but let's be honest, Titania's like L after L after L on this show, right? First in the first episode, then you think she got the win by trademarking She-Hulk, but she took the L in that episode when Jennifer won the case, or She-Hulk won the case, and in this fight at the wedding, she beat Titania again. She took another L, but you think She-Hulk would take the L because she turned into She-Hulk. Jennifer turned to She-Hulk, and the thing was, she was worried that Lulu would get mad at her for turning to She-Hulk, right? Lulu was the bride, their high school friend who's getting married. But the thing is, Lulu was drunk too and was happy. She was drunk also. So Mr. Immortal, yeah. Mr. Immortal, it was fun. If he could live for a long time, he's despicable, man. Like, how many wives? And he had a kid of one. He had like so many wives over the years. Who did you say he married once? Like a very well-known baroness or like queen or something in the past or something like that from like centuries ago. That he married some wealthy, like, I don't know, monarch, somebody from I don't know. And I forget who. But the thing is, we find out that She-Hulk has haters, specifically, the Wrecking Crew is specifically an intelligence agency called, what was it called? Intelligence? Oh, fuck. Whatever. I had it here. Let me. Intelligentsia. Yeah, Intelligentsia. And, the lawyer helped She-Hulk won the case. Is like, brush it off. Everybody has trolls, stuff like that. Everybody threats everybody on the internet, but it's a serious threats, right? And she told Nikki not to tell She-Hulk, but in their car driving home, Nikki, she was telling about this group and how there's threats against She-Hulk's life, Jennifer's life, but she got her voicemail, right? She wasn't actually talking to Jen. She got her voicemail. Intelligentsia, yeah, that's what it's called. And their aim is to kill She-Hulk. Yeah, I don't think I don't think Titania is behind it or anything. She's more up front. Titania Titania is more up front, so I don't think she's has anything. There's somebody who's out to get her. I wouldn't be serious. You remember that picture that was surfaced about She-Hulk? We have like a bunch of different awkward, quirky characters like Porcupine, etc., etc. Maybe them. Maybe of the Wrecking Crew when they actually get costumes because they were in the third episode and they got severely beat up by She-Hulk. Maybe they're hired by Intelligentsia. It's definitely not Titania, but I wouldn't be surprised if Titania does join them, whoever if she finds out who they are because her hatred for She-Hulk, she has a grudge against She-Hulk. She's took an L after L after L with She-Hulk. So, I mean, it makes sense for her to, perhaps team up with this agency that is out to get She-Hulk. Now, apparently, this agency did have a connection to the Claws, from the Black Panther. But Andy Serkis, that's in the past because Claus is dead now. Because if you remember, Black Panther, Killmonger killed Claus and brought him to Wakanda, killing the enemy of the Black Panther of Wakanda. Because Claus knew about the Vibranium. And Killmonger only teamed up with Claus for his own agenda, right? To get back his heritage, as a Wakandian, right? Okay, that's different. I'm going off a tangent there, like with Black Panther there, but you get the point. Claus was perhaps part of this agency, and now we're seeing like, and we saw the end where like what they plan to do, the She-Hulk, and I'm gonna say a hot take here. If these rumors are true, look. Since D23, I stopped believing scoopers really because I see them still putting up on Twitter. Oh, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. And I'm like, you said this about D23, man. You tricked us. But I read a couple of things. Here's the thing. Universal, right? They're gonna, the Hawk rights are gonna go back to Marvel around 2023, right? End of 2023 or something like that. So I read on rumors that perhaps in Captain America: New World Order, the leader will steal some of the whatever blood, whatever it takes to make a Hawk, right? And then he'll make a bunch of Hawks for Hawk World War, like a film Hawk World War. Once Marvel gets the rights. Now, Universal will be smart. If Universal is smart, them like Sony, they should do a deal with Marvel. Okay, if Sony's willing to do it, Universal should do it with Marvel Studios. Now, what if the leader is behind this group? If that's true about him getting, if that's true about those rumors about World War Hawk, it's gonna be led in from Captain America: New World Order with leader getting a bunch of whatever it takes to make a Hawk, gamma wave, whatever to make a Hawk, DNA, blood, like I guess blood. That's what She-Hulk came from, blood, right? But basically, touching Bruce Banner's blood. I mean, like that's all you really need if you think about it to make a Hawk. Now, why go through? What if the leaders behind this agency? I'm just speculating here. I don't think that's the case. Personally, I don't think that's the case here. But you never know. I stopped following, like I still follow scoopers, but I stopped kind of believing them. especially on the Marvel stuff, because most of the time they're wrong on the Marvel stuff. They've been wrong. I mean, I blame them for D23, hyping up for D23. Now I hear apparently, like I don't know, apparently Daredevil's not in it's not in the next episode. It's not in episode 7, but episode 8. The second last episode, because it's a 9 episode season, and he's gonna appear in the last 2 episodes of the series. And I could personally see She-Hulk being not just a limited series. I think the show could actually be more than one season. The way it's the premise, the way it's filmed, the way its episodes are like 30 minutes long. This show could definitely be like have multiple seasons. It's not, to me, it doesn't feel like a limited series. The way it's shot. Loki is having it. It looks like, oh, of course, Miss Marvel may have one. Rumor, like it looks like Miss Marvel. It's not 100% confirmed, but if the directors are pretty much Instagramming about it, I think they would know, and it's pretty much gonna be confirmed at some point. And Moon Knight, I don't know about Moon Knight, guys. Like there has this whispers about that, but Moon Knight, I don't know. I'll take the Moon Knight with a grain of salt. I believe the Miss Marvel series is most likely second season is most likely gonna happen before Moon Knight right now, because there's more evidence pointing that way than Moon Knight. And I think this show, I think She-Hulk could benefit from a second season too. The way it is, it's the way it's filmed, the way the show is, it's the closest to a comedy show, right? Half an hour, 25 minutes to half an hour comedy show, right? It's the closest to that. And this to me is one of those shows that probably will have a second season. Hmm. Yes, that's true. I'm just reading something. All right. So yeah, this is pretty much it. The She-Hulk episodes, like they're not much to talk about. They're short. It's not like talking about Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and the other Disney Plus Marvel shows. So it's less to talk about because there's shorter episodes. So there's usually less to talk about. And in this episode, not a lot to talk about either. I mean, it does move the story along, especially the Titania's hatred for She-Hulk. Now we know that She-Hulk has more than just her as an enemy, right? We have this agency that's looking to kill her, or whatever they want to do with her, and there's people out to kill her. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. 25 minutes, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. Take care, guys. AW is out.